video will show you how to make your value scales for practicing this skill. Third graders, you're going to have the goal of making one value scale. Fourth and fifth graders, you're going to have the goal of making 2 or more value scales. Let's start. To make your value scale, the first thing you need is to draw a long, narrow rectangle on the page. Once you have that, divide it into 7 boxes, and that will require drawing 6 lines. I recommend you number your boxes to make the next part easier. Now, the last box, box 7, is going to be black, completely black with whatever material you're using. And the first box is going to be white. In this video, I've already made one value scale using colored pencils, and I'm going to be making one using watercolor paint. This process is the same if you're using paint, crayons, or colored pencils, or even pastels. So make sure that for the shades, you are including your color and black. And your goal is to make box 5 and box 6 getting gradually darker by mixing more black in box 6 and only a little bit of black in box 5. Mixing your tints is going to depend on what art material you are using. If you're using watercolor like me in this video, the way to make the tints is to add water to the color. And more water is going to make a lighter tint. But if you're using colored pencils or crayons or a different material like pastels, either you have to add in white or you have to press lighter. But you can experiment and see. If you're working with an art material that does not blend, like a Sharpie marker, for example, and you're only going to have one color, so making your value scale is going to be a little bit different. You will still create 7 boxes, and you'll still have a white box for number 1 and a black box for number 7. But then the process of mixing is, well, you're not going to mix. It's just one color, so it's going to be a little bit different. Depending on the material, either by pressing harder or by drawing more marks and lines, you can still create different shades. So as you can see here, I'm going from dark to light. I think that's easier, or you can also go from light to dark. And fill up your boxes, creating your 5 lighter to darker values. To turn in your value scales, insert a photo of your value scale or scales into your slides for this week, like this. Here, I put a picture of my colored pencil value scale and answered the questions in the slides. In the slides, it's asking you as well to consider what material you want to use for your wow project next week and to describe it there.